Now, just look at the way those beautiful animals move. And these are absolutely magnificent babies. Having a high old time, a little bit of a kick, a little bit of a buck.
Look at that nice
Look at the way they move. And they need homes.
Ooh, look at her trying to get this dog. Ziggy, I would stay right here.
And it's absolutely unbelievable to me that these beautiful animals waiting for adoption can't find homes, because if they can't, how many other hundreds and or thousands of horses are there, Donna?
Well, you know, there are literally thousands, and I get calls every day from people saying, we've gone to sales, we can't even give our horses away, beautiful quarter horses like these, because of the economy. And the other thing is because the slaughterhouses have been closed in the United States. And the sad thing is now these poor animals that do go to sales have to go all the way to Mexico and Canada, which I shudder to think about what happens.
The way they're treated.
The way they're treated there. We really need to, sort of got the cart before the horse, we really need to set up euthanasia centers all over the United States. I would like to see a state-of-the-art euthanasia center in the center of every state, and so we have a way to get rid of the abundance of horses humanely.
The ones that can't be rehabilitated or saved or used.
Right, or those that are old and suffering. They all need, and they all deserve a dignified exit from this life.
Can't they get that from their own vet on their own property, Donna?
They can, but a lot of people do not want to, and some people can't afford it. It costs about $500. By the time you have the haulers take the carcass away, by the time the vet comes out and euthanizes them, and poisons them, quite frankly, and then the meat is not usable even for the zoo animals, which is a shame. You know, because the carnivorous zoo animals could certainly...
Well, you know, yeah, if an animal has to die, there might as well be some purpose to it besides it's just being gone.
Yeah. My whole theory is, it's like the animals deserve, and we as human beings owe it to give them the best life they can possibly have, and the quickest and kindest exit from this life.
The same thing we do with dogs and cats.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We've been doing that for hundreds of years, but we never had this glut of horses until just within the last few years. People are overbreeding, just like they are with dogs and cats. Wake up, America.
Yeah, there are too many.
Be responsible.
Absolutely. So how many animals do you have on the farm right now that are available for adoption?
Oh, we have about, well, if anyone wants to adopt a 34-year-old and a 30-year-old, we have 8 horses 30 and above that are in magnificent shape, cost 4 times as much to keep in beautiful condition. We can look at a couple over here that you won't believe that they're close to 40.
But they just don't have the teeth to eat hay, so you
need
special food.
Right. They have to have baby food like pablum. They eat an equine senior, which gives them all the nutrients, and they're still magnificent animals.
And so those
and I absolutely cannot put them down.
No, and they're
healthy.
They would be an adornment for someone.
Right.
A friend, a loving, large friend.
Right. They could live as long as 5 more years. We've had them up to 42 years of age and change. And it breaks my heart when I go through some of these magnificent show stables where animals that were hunters and jumpers or show horses, saddlebreds, quarter horses, whatever, and the children are now, you know, that they had them for college or something, and
they're
now
tired of them.
they've outgrown them. But the family still loves them, and they're 19, 20 years old, 18 years old, and they're a little too old. I have my eye on a 400-acre farm in the western part of the state.
You said by Galena somewhere.
Near Galena, where it would be an ideal place for horses to live out their lives in a natural setting like this.
Like horses were meant to live.
And we could board them for the people who are now paying anywhere from $1,000 to $2,500. The horses are getting all the feed they need and all the vet care they need. But the children are not interested in going and riding or taking care of them. So they literally are standing and rotting.
In stalls.
In stalls, well cared for, with food and so on.
Yeah, so they can live a long time in jail.
But these are herd animals, and they love to be out, and they need to be moving all the time. So standing in a solitary confinement, to me, is not a fate that they deserve.
So you said to me this would remain the treatment for the injured, abused, and then
the headquarters,
and then you'd be looking at this farm for
As an
boarding,
overflow.
as an overflow place where horses could run freely.
Right.
So, okay, which means that since it has to be purchased.
The first person with $1 million will give us one wonderful start.
Uh-huh.
But you know what, Sherry, I said that one time to you on one of the tapes I looked at maybe 20 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And guess what? The million has come in over the years, more than 1 million.
So it comes in small increments, which means for those of you who are watching, and especially for those of you who love horses, Donna has been doing this all of her life and has brought horses literally from death to life more times than I want to count that I've seen. It's a remarkable, remarkable thing to see a horse come back. But it also is, right now, in a crisis situation, a great need for a place for these animals to be so that they don't have to go to euthanasia centers. Donations. Donations are always welcome. Donna, thank you.
And we welcome anybody who maybe would like to put some land in a trust if they have a huge farm area. And they could put it in a trust, and then we could run it as a
charitable trust, absolutely.
Right. There's a lot of ways. Some of the trust attorneys say, I can't believe you haven't gotten huge farms donated, because it's a tax write-off for the big trusts, but it would have to be about a 20-year trust.
Yeah.
In order to justify all the improvements.
All the improvements.
Like we put in over almost $1 million of improvements.
Sure, in barns, fencing, and everything
right.
else.
It's very, as we said, it's costly.
So you need money. You need volunteers. Always need volunteers.
Qualified, good horse volunteers.
And
because we do have a lot of children that come out from the inner city and children that just want to learn. And we have volunteers that work with them and teach them how to brush and how to love an animal. Love begets love. And if they can learn from a young age to be kind to animals, even these little dogs, which we have an abundance of everything.
All over the place.
Right. Thank you, Sherry.
And thank you, and we're now going to go to Save a Pet and show you some of the dogs and cats that are available there for adoption.